जय गौरा हरे We have a very exciting session. We are doing something new. This is called Too Much Wise AMA. Some of you may know.
Yay!
Some of you may know
Something new.
AMA stands for Ask Me Anything. So we asked you for some questions, and we got questions from all our social media platforms. We have too many of them. I mean, too many of them, YouTube and Instagram. So we've got a list of around 20 questions. We've not
Yeah,
read it together till now. We just glanced uh, over
yeah,
it, and now we're going to answer them. So we're very excited. We'll try to keep the
yeah.
answer short, maybe 2 to 3 minutes. I'll take one question, then Priya Sakha will take one question. Like that, we'll keep juggling, and let's see how it
Mm.
goes. But
Yes. I don't know if it was inadvertent or it was planned that we didn't have a look at this. But yeah, we definitely didn't have a chance to go look at this. I just got it in my hand and opened it, and they look very, very
yeah, our
interesting.
office doesn't
Yeah,
allow us time to discuss and prepare for these sessions. So all the sessions
yeah.
are impromptu. We don't do a dry run before the session.
Not sure if that is a good thing, but yeah, that's how it
Yeah,
is.
but that also helps us be stay authentic. So then we don't have much opportunity to dress up and look at our shirts. Like we are in our almost in our night suits.
Yeah.
Anyhow, check that. Let's come to the questions. Very interesting questions. Really interesting questions. Some questions that I didn't expect at all, but I feel like it's going to be a lot of fun answering. It'll also help us to think from the mindset of someone who is completely new to Bhakti Yoga. So I'm excited. Prabhu, I'm going to throw the first question at you. Okay. I'm just randomly
Ji,
picking up from the list. Okay. So
done.
I am taking question number. Okay. This is a good one. Question number 13. It says,
Okay.
does love exist? And then continues, people often refer to the transcendental form of Radha and Krishna and Shiv and Parvati to justify love. Is this okay? So, the two parts to the question. First, is there love? Two, can we use Radha, Krishna, and Shiv and Parvati to explain or justify love?
Okay. Yeah, of course, love exists. We live for love. That's what we live for. We want love. We just were talking about this in last session that end of the day, all of us, all we want to do is to be liked and to be loved, and for that, we'll do everything in this world. But that being said, love does exist, but do we know what love is? That is another separate question, because our scriptures have definition for love also. The scriptures basically say with that when you selflessly do something for the Lord, the Creator's pleasure, that's actually love. And when you do something for your own sense gratification, which basically means either your senses for their gratification, or even your mind or ego and all of that, you do something to satisfy that, that's actually not love. That's just another kind of lust, right? So this is the basic premise of it. But then people might ask, Are, what is this? That means love सिर्फ soul और भगवान के बीच में हो सकता है? What about human beings? Should we not love human beings, living animals, all of that? Yes, we should. But again, if we have love for the creator, if we have this love for our super soul, that is when we will be able to express real love for others without expecting anything back from them, for all, indiscriminately, and on an absolute level. I'm going to stop with that answer for that first part. And the second part is, people refer to Radha Krishna and Shiva Parvati and all of that for love. Yeah, we can take those references, but I don't know. Do we? they're on a different level, we're on a different level. We are spirit souls, but right now in the material world, and they are eternally spiritual in nature. So there's a chance, there's a hazard there, that when we see at Shiva Parvati, Radha Krishna, because we have experience right now of only this material world, we see them, their relationship, and we project our material understanding on their relationship also. Oh, they're just husband wife, oh, they're just boyfriend girlfriend, oh, they're also, trying to satisfy their senses when they hug and when they talk and when they play, when they dance. We Whatever we are trying to do here, we project that also there. We actually have to do the ulta. We have to understand them first, and then we'll understand their love. And we have to project that on ourselves. Right now, without the understanding them, we'll project our understanding on them, their relationship. So yeah, we can't do that yet, but yeah, the absolute level of love we will understand when we understand them and their relationship.
Okay. Okay. So love is when you do something for God. When you do something for yourself, that's lust. Summary of part one. Summary of part two. We can't project our definition and realizations of love onto Radha and Krishna. That's what we do inadvertently. Actually, it's the other way around. The true love exists there, and we just have like a reflection of that
Yeah.
love. That's what we portray here. Okay, thank you. Sharp to the
Yes.
point. As you asked me a question, Prabhu, I'm going to just go and switch on my laptop's charger. I can hear you, so you go on.
Okay. Done. I'll also pick up a random question out of these. 19th question, Prabhu. So short and sweet and loaded question. It says, why should we follow only Krishna? Why? I've projected my tone also on it. I don't know what tone it was asked on, but why should we follow only Krishna?
Why should we follow only Krishna? Actually, Krishna is God, but you may say that Vishnu is also God, Allah is also God, Yehovah is also God, so on and so forth. Yes, all these identities are God. If the name of a God and the details of God are coming from an authorized, bona fide piece of text, and if it's not man made, it's not coming from a man made piece of text, then the details, the name and identity of God is true. So all are true. Vishnu as God, true. Allah as God, true. Uh, Yehovah as God, true. Father as God, true. The only difference is that different pieces of text give different levels of detail about God, right? So, one piece of text will tell you the nature of God. Another piece of text
Mm,
will tell you the benevolence of God, will tell you a little
mm,
bit of detail about our relationship with God. And then there is
yeah.
another piece of text which is called the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Srimad Bhagavatam is said to be the essence of the essence of the essence of all the Vedic scriptures. And the Srimad Bhagavatam gives us all the details about God. It tells us about
Mm,
the bodily hue of God, the color of his spiritual body. It tells us about what he wears. It tells us about what all different incarnation avatar or avatars he takes. It tells us
yeah.
about when he comes to earth, who does he accept as his mother, who does he accept as his father. Originally, how does his planet look like? Originally, what sort of ornaments does he wear? Originally, what sort of
Correct.
relationship does he have with other spirit souls? So different pieces of text have different levels of detail, but the most highest level of details are given about are given in the Srimad Bhagavatam about Krishna. Also, the Srimad Bhagavatam goes on to tell that while there are so many incarnations, so many names of God, the original name, the original
Mm,
being from which all other names come, from which all other incarnation comes, is Krishna. So you may go on and follow any bona fide authorized name. It's not a problem.
mm,
Only that you do that under guidance. And we follow Krishna because we follow uh, the book called Srimad Bhagavatam, which tells us that the original personality of Godhead is Krishna and everything comes from him. All
yeah.
avatars, incarnations are equally powerful, but the original is Krishna. The example that is given is that of a candle. Each candle
Mm,
has the same intensity of heat and light. If there are 100 candles
mm,
in front of you, all of them will have the same intensity and light. But there has to be one original candle, the first candle, which
correct.
lit the other candles one by one by one.
Yeah.
So that's why we follow Krishna. Of course, there are many aspects to it, but given that I have only 2 3 minutes, this is the aspect that I've spoken about.
Yes, succinctly said, Prabhu. Just summarizing that, we follow if we follow Krishna, or anybody wants to follow God, then it's the ultimate person that they can follow is Krishna, because Krishna is God in his most detailed form. So otherwise you can follow many people, many other names that God has, but yeah, Krishna, if you follow, all of them will be included in that. All instructions of his will be included in following Krishna.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhu. I'm looking for a question for you. Uh,
Yes.
okay. Uh, why is now this is a different one. This is coming from somebody who's probably already initiated into Bhakti Yoga, already knows a little bit about the
Mm,
process of Bhakti Yoga. The question is,
mm,
why is Tulsi offered to Krishna? That's it.
mm.
So,
Why is Tulsi offered to Krishna? So, just like we are personalities, we have some friends, we have some enemies, we have some acquaintances. Just like that, not too many enemies of Krishna, but yeah, out of his friends and lovers and beloved people, he has a inner circle. He has these very close people for very specific things. For example, if you have a friend, you have some inside joke, right? Like, be like, I am your Maggie person, yeah. I am your Pahad person, yeah. Like, you have that relationship with
hmm, hmm,
particular
hmm,
relationship with a
hmm,
close friend. That this person ke saath, if I this is the activity that I do
hmm,
with
hmm,
this
hmm,
person. This is my
hmm.
go. That's a special bond with that person. Just like that, Krishna has that with so many of his beloved friends and people around him. And Tulasi is a personification of a personality. The Tulsi plant is a personification. I mean, there's a personality behind the Tulsi plant, and that personality's name is Vrinda Devi. And Vrinda Devi is supposed to be very close to Krishna. She's called Krishna Preyasi, or very beloved to Krishna, and he has this very special relationship with her, that if anything is offered to Krishna, any eatable is offered to Krishna, he has said that, "Nahi, I'll only have it as if Tulsi is accompanying that food stuff. Only then I'll be accepting it." That is the special sanction, or the special position that Krishna has provided Tulsi. And this is just one aspect of Tulsi, which basically shows how close Tulsi is to Krishna. Hence, because if we want to worship Krishna, we want to become close to Krishna, we learn that from personalities who are already close to Krishna. That is the reason why we worship Tulasi, because she is close to Krishna. She's one of the closest personalities to Krishna, and we are like, हमें भी सिखा दो थोड़ा. Just let us also know, let us also in that close inner circle. Would you please recommend me, my name also to Krishna, that I also have that relationship? How do you do this? And this relationship we also want to partake in, of being close to Krishna, of having a relationship with Krishna, and we want to learn from the best. Hence we worship Krishna to take her blessings. We worship Tulasi to take her blessings.
Okay. In summary, you said that just like we have our relationships with different people, and we hold different people for different type of acts, we hold good with them for different types of
Mm.
acts. Just like that, Krishna has a very nice relationship with Tulsi, and he's given Tulsi the sanction of being offered with everything. So anything that is to be offered to Krishna,
Yeah,
it comes with a Tulsi. So that's their relationship,
correct,
that's their strong relationship, and we offer Tulsi because we want to take her help to build our relationship with Krishna. Okay, thank
correct.
you.
Question for you, Prabhu. It said that, can chanting be done without beads? I mean, can I set a timer and chant without beads? So the question is that, are beads really important? What role do beads play in the act of chanting the holy
Okay, so first,
names?
for those who are feeling alienated or are uninitiated to beads and chanting, we chant a certain mantra every day, right? We take a commitment of chanting it a certain number of times, right? So question is, do I need to chant this mantra on beads? There are japa beads, or can I just chant it like that? Well, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that you chant my names all the time, every time.
Yeah,
Just keep chanting. He says satatam kirtayanto mam. Satatam means all the time. Why? Because
yeah,
chanting is a very nice way to always keep your consciousness aligned with God, right? So to stay in
yeah,
sync with divinity, you can continue to take the name of God, right? If I keep saying let's
yes,
say Priyasaka, 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 or Prithvi, then naturally I'll be reminded of him, right? If I do this
mm,
attentively. So Krishna says, if you take my name attentively, you'll remember me. Now, should I be chanting on my beats? Yes, you keep chanting the entire day, but your committed number of rounds, your committed number of chants should be on
yeah,
beats. Why? Multiple reasons. Number one, beads give you a sense of touch, right? When you're touching something, uh, one of your senses is engaged in a physical act, and that helps your mind stay attentive, right? If I don't have beads,
mm,
I'll just be inattentive. If I have beads, at least the touch of my fingers is reminding me that I'm in an act of taking the names of the Lord. Number one. Number two,
yeah,
beads are made out of a pure substance, so they may be made out of tulsi or sandal or neem, right? And these are very spiritually potent materials.
yeah,
When you bring yourself in touch with spiritually potent materials, then your chanting also becomes spiritually potent. Your mind
correct.
starts to get absorbed in the names more easily because you've added some spiritual potency to your to the act of focusing your mind. So that way your
Yes,
beads really help. Also, beads make
yeah,
ensure that the count happen automatically, right? If you have a timer, or if
mm,
you
mm,
have
mm,
maybe a chanting monitor on your phone, you will naturally keep looking at it, right? As you look at it, you'll
yeah,
get a reason to get distracted, right? So uh, to avoid any reasons of distraction, and to allow you to close your eyes, to let your eyes not be distracted by the world outside, you hold beads. These beads and the sense of touch help you know where you've proceeded in your commitment to chanting those specific number of rounds. So it's a spiritually logical reason to chant on beats, and also a practical, there's also a practical side to chanting on beats. So yeah, chant on beats at least a minimum number of committed rounds.
yeah. That's nice, Prabhu. So many insightful things in that. Take beads to get your senses engaged more and more. Sensory engagement is more with the beads. Secondly, the beads are potent because of the material that they made. So they make your activity a little more conducive, and it's also a dedicated act that you're disciplining yourself to you're committing yourself to at least a minimum standard of practice, so that you can progress, just like in any other discipline. Nice.
Okay. Question for you. Does
Yes.
bhakti make you outdated? Does it
Oh
make your
no.
thoughts and opinion orthodox? Does bhakti make you
Oh,
outdated? Does it make your opinion and thoughts orthodox?
I have met a lot of devotees in my life, and just like people, devotees are also of all kinds. Um, there are orthodox devotees, there are conservative devotees, liberal devotees, there are centrist balanced devotees. There are all kinds of devotees, but um unlike at least to a certain degree, unlike the world out there, we get along pretty well with everybody, because we don't see them as conflicting or at loggerheads with each other in most cases. But it's just we see that, oh, this whole spectrum, the whole spectrum is open for me to choose and to basically pick where I belong. So if you want to be an orthodox devotee, you definitely
Hmm.
can be, because some people want that. So for some people that works. If you want to be on the liberal side, that also works. If you don't want to wear a tilak and wear a dhoti to your office, do not do that. You can go, you can just be however you are, and at the same time, internally you can definitely go deeper and deeper. And to be honest with you, it's this is not something to be feared, that does it make you orthodox or not. Once you pick the path, and once you go deeper internally, the externals manifest themselves by
Hmm.
themselves. Where
Hmm.
you want to lie, if you want to wear tilak at home, you can wear it if you feel like wearing it. If you don't feel like wearing it, that's all right. You're not no less of a bhakta if you're not wearing tilak at home all the time. There are some places, certain places, which warrant a kind of dress code. It'll be nice to wear dhoti kurta tilak when you're in a spiritual surrounding, when you go to the temple, just like when you go to office you wear certain kind of things. But if you like it so much, you'll start doing it all the time. But if you don't, you think that that's not helping you, that's also all right. There are devotees who don't do that. I am not wearing tilak anymore right now. I am not wearing a dhoti kurta right now, and we're talking in all different kinds of ways. There's no certain certain rules and regulations which are so strict and orthodox that I cannot break out of them. So yeah, I've seen bhakti to be very very malleable, very flexible, very open minded and broad minded. It in fact it is all inclusive. Krishna opens his arms out to everybody, and bhakti, being the path to him, mimics this and really opens arms to everybody. So it doesn't make us orthodox. In fact, it really makes us see that what actually is orthodox, what actually is liberal, and is it for the right reasons or not, and where do we want to stand on that whole spectrum. It gives us that choice. So yeah, not necessarily Mataji, Prabhuji, whoever asked this question, doesn't make us orthodox.
Okay, so you're saying there are liberals and conservatives outside, there are liberals and conservatives inside. People who are pursuing bhakti, they are
Yeah,
also on either ends of the spectrum and scale. The difference is,
yeah,
despite being on different ends, despite being on different extreme poles, they're not at
yeah.
loggerheads. Everybody is still
No,
working together, bringing each other and themselves towards Krishna. And
brings more
brings more
color.
color. And bhakti is all
Yeah,
inclusive. It's for everyone, everybody. And As you evolve in bhakti, you can choose how you want to dress, how you want to look. uh,
Yeah,
Nothing's stopping you.
correct.
Okay.
I I have your next question with me. Um the next question is, I think we should understand Bhagavad Gita in Sanskrit,
Hmm.
because I believe that what Krishna wants to preach is not fully conveyed in any other language due to translation gaps, like Chinese
Hmm.
whispers. Uh, and there's a huge long explanation for that. But to put it shortly, he basically saying, is Sanskrit, he feels, or he or she feels that Sanskrit is very, very important to understand the scriptures, especially the Gita, in full essence,
Hmm.
so that we can understand what Krishna is
Hmm.
saying
Hmm.
fully. That's what he's
It's a very
asking.
interesting question. uh, Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita in Sanskrit. uh, it's a language. Sanskrit and sanskar are related terms. So, in a way, it means it's the most cultured language. So, from Sanskrit now, there are Bhagavad Gita translations in so many languages. I don't even have a count. Definitely upwards of
Mm.
100. Recently, I saw a version in Arabic also. All of these
Yeah,
languages have been introduced uh, by ISKCON, or the founder Acharya of ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada. Should we reject these languages, go and learn Sanskrit before we learn the Bhagavad Gita? No. Why? Because Krishna is essentially speaking the Bhagavad Gita to communicate wisdom, to communicate the
mm,
essence of human life, to communicate
mm,
the duty of a soul, to communicate the source
yeah,
of happiness for the soul. This wisdom, this essence can be spoken in any language. Language is just a medium
correct,
of communication. Krishna spoke it in
correct,
Sanskrit because that was the cultured language, that was the spoken language at that time, right? And now it's
correct.
being translated into so many languages. Should you be learning Sanskrit and then reading the Bhagavad Gita? Sure, you can. Will it give you a better understanding? Not necessarily, because the essence and
Yeah,
wisdom of the Gita doesn't depend on the language. It really depends
yeah,
on your guide, it depends on your teacher, it depends on your school,
correct.
right? So somebody can be teaching you the Bhagavad Gita in chaste Sanskrit, giving you
Yeah,
word by word, syllable by syllable translation. But if the essence is not translated, if the essence is not delivered, then it defeats the purpose of
yeah,
Bhagavad Gita. There are many versions of the
very,
Bhagavad Gita, some even in Sanskrit, uh, which are not true to the essence. So then what's the point of
yeah,
that Bhagavad Gita, which is true to the language, literal language, but not true, not loyal to
yeah,
the meaning, to the essence. So more important is
yeah,
to find the right guide who's coming through a authentic teacher student relationship, who's coming from a
yeah.
legitimate, bona fide, stamped school of bhakti, school uh, of Vedic scriptures, and learn it from him, no matter what the language.
Yes. Yes, Prabhu. So you're saying that along with the text, context also matters, and just learning Sanskrit will not be enough to do that, because that has to be learned, not just by the person who knows text, but a person who knows bhakti, because that is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita, transformation of the heart through bhakti. I just had a thought about this, that yeah, we can think that yeah, this translation might not be chaste enough, hence I need to learn Sanskrit. But even Sanskrit you'll learn from a teacher. If you're not but if you're not yeah, trusting the teacher who has translated the Gita, how will you trust the person who is teaching you Sanskrit? um so yeah, it's just a matter of what how far will you go in your pursuit to eliminate your doubts, because there's no end to
Yeah.
doubts
Yeah.
if you wanted to doubt.
Okay, Prabhu, I think we should do last two questions now. What I'll do is that now you
Yeah.
choose a question that you want to
Okay.
speak about. The question that
Okay.
resonates with you the most out of the ones that are remaining. And then I can
Okay.
take up one, and then we can close this and then maybe come back again for some of the remaining questions.
Okay. I'll take up the LGBTQ question,
Okay.
Prabhu.
So the question is, what's the Vedic view on LGBTQ rights? Is it okay to be gay?
Mm.
Is it okay to be in a gay stroke bisexual relationship?
Yeah. Um, it's a very loaded question, controversial question. I'm just trying to make uh thought, like arrange the thoughts in my head so that I don't come off as offensive to anybody. No conservatives, no liberals. I don't want to offend anybody, but I also want to stick to the essence of the answer. Uh, okay, the question is not that is it okay to be gay, bisexual, this, that. The idea is that what does it mean to be all of these things? These are all sexual orientations, right? Gay, bisexual, this, that, and then straight and all of that, heterosexual and all of that. So all of these are sexual orientations. So they basically denote what your preference is in satisfying your sexual needs. That's what it boils down to, right? And you're saying one of them is right, one of them is not right, or whatever. But Vedic wisdom is a little more evolved in all of these things. It doesn't care about how you're gratifying your senses. It basically cares about why you're gratifying your senses. Like, why are you gratifying your senses? You're just trying to we are trying to fight about I'll gratify my senses this way. Oh, but that is wrong way to gratify but Krishna is saying sense gratification itself is pointless. That is what he's saying. So the idea is to focus less on the ways, the means to gratify your senses, and focus a little more on evolving our consciousness above the senses, which is on the level of the mind, even above the mind, which is on the level of the spirit, and see that can we nourish our soul, because then I'll actually not just gratify my senses, not just provide shanti to my mind, which are lower than the spirit, mind, and senses, but I'll actually satisfy my sense, not just gratify, satisfy my senses by engaging them in the right place. I'll actually give my mind some real bliss, because now I've really put my mind the way I'm supposed to put my mind. So the focus should not be the means of sexual gratification. It should be that okay, I have to evolve above it. Yeah, I can be of this preference, that preference, fine, whatever it is. But end of the day, I don't want to focus on this. If it is coming in the way of my spiritual evolution, spiritual progress, I'm going to try and avoid it. If it is conducive to my it fits and aligns and really supports my spiritual journey, I'm going to stick with it. That is my criteria of seeing that what is good for me and what is not good for me. This correct and non-correct, and today it is valid, tomorrow it is not valid. This is all transitory. It will keep going on. Some things will be accepted today, some things won't be accepted tomorrow. But ultimately speaking, on the absolute level, whatever is aligning with our spiritual progress, that is actually good for us. And that is evolution beyond sense gratification. So yeah, we can just put a rest to all of this and just somehow collaborate together, whatever each other's situations are, our conditionings are, just collaborate, support each other in getting out of those conditionings, rather than labeling and compartmentalizing, and then alienating some and accepting some conditionings. These are all conditionings anyway. Let's just rise above that and find ways to support each other in doing that. That is what the scriptures tell us ultimately.
Lovely. Loved the answer. I love the part which is doesn't matter if you're straight or gay or bi. Why do you focus on
Yeah,
gratify? Focus on satisfy. Go
yeah,
beyond gratification. Doesn't matter which way. Focus on permanently
yeah,
satisfying. Lovely. Love the answer.
yeah.
No controversy, Prabhu. Shit, we won't get views now. I wanted some controversy for views.
Your exclamation was more controversial than my answer.
Okay.
What question would you like, Prabhu?
I, I,
Which one?
I'm reading from the top. I like the first one, which is I
Okay,
find peace in walks, music, nature. That one. Uh,
great. You said half of it. I find peace in walks, music, and nature. That is spirituality for me. What is wrong with
yeah.
that?
That's a really it's a
What is wrong
very
with that?
very nice question. Actually, it's such a genuine question, such an
Yeah,
innocent, pyara question.
genuine.
It's
Yeah.
like I come back from office. My boss has been really uh, cheap towards me today. He said
Okay.
mean things to me.
Yeah.
I'm feeling really bad. Let me put on my headphones, listen to some nice classical instrumental music. Let my mind
Yeah.
relax. As my mind relaxes, there'll be peace. Let me have
Yeah.
a leisure drink, a nice drink to end the evening. Let me go out to the hills. Let me stay next to the
Yeah.
beach. Nature,
Yeah.
nature will give me that calm. So that's spirituality for me.
Yeah.
True,
Yeah.
seems like that. It is, you can say, to some extent. But the truth is that all the acts we do, they can be divided
Mm.
into one of the three arenas, either negative, the negative arena, or zero,
Mm.
or positive, right? When we are at office and the boss tells us mean things, when we are at college
Yeah.
and we are ranked lowest in the class, we're in the negative arena. Our mind is really worked up, we're feeling really low, we're really frustrated.
Mm.
There are so many thoughts going
Yeah.
on in our head. Will I succeed in life? Does anyone love me? What is happening?
Mm.
Negative arena, negative zone. Then we go, we listen to some nice classical music, we go out for a walk in the nature, and slowly the
Yeah.
mind calms down. We move from the negative arena little above to the zero arena, where the thoughts in the
Yeah.
mind settle down. We feel a little more peaceful. A little peaceful. Earlier, we were not feeling peaceful at all.
Yeah.
But what after that? What after negative and zero? Where is the
Yeah.
positivity? And that's
Positive.
when real spirituality steps in. Real spirituality
Yeah.
pulls you from negative through zero to positivity. So, a walk
Yeah.
in the nature, a leisure drink, some nice music can only give you up till peace, but it doesn't give you
Correct.
joy. It doesn't give you happiness. The
Right.
spiritual term for this, which is in Sanskrit, which is sort of absent in English, is called rasa. Rasa
Yeah.
means a taste, a mellow, uh,
Mm. And
an inexplicable joy and happiness in the heart. You know you're happy. You know the situation is the same. The boss was still mean to you. Your marks were still
yeah.
low. You still had a bad day, but there is joy in your heart. It's beyond peace,
Mm.
and this stays. It has long. The longevity is much more. You will feel the same even when you're hearing it from your boss. Your
Yeah.
mind will still be at peace, and above peace be it'll be experiencing certain type of joy. so
Yeah.
so yeah, nature walks are good, but they can only give you till peace. They can't take you
Yeah.
beyond peace to
Limited.
satisfying bliss.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. Nature walks, music, these seem to be in good taste also. They're not just they don't seem like a rebound, and they just like they don't feel like a rebuttal, and they don't feel like a lashing out.
Yeah,
They seem to be in a better, higher consciousness. But there is something higher is
yeah,
what you're saying, that above that level also there is one level, and just like we like this and it gives us a little nice feeling, that itself should give a clue that if there is something higher, how much better that might be. So I think that's what
yeah.
you said, Prabhu, and yeah, agree with it fully.
Okay, I think we should do this more often. Feeling very
Correct.
energized,
This is
refreshed,
going.
inspired, lots of clarity in my own head.
Yes.
Verbalizing things, is very
Yeah.
nice. Okay, so we'll call it a day. Okay,
Yes,
another
Prabhu.
episode we shall
This is good.
record soon, and we'll try to
Yeah.
continue AMA. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. See you
Done.
soon. Hare Krishna.
See you. Hare Krishna.
Oh, if you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments, or you
Oh yeah,
can message us
we can pick them
separately,
up next time.
and then we'll try to include them. Thank you so much for your
Yeah,
questions.
that's a good
Hare
idea.
Krishna.
Jaya Gaura